Well, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. I really wasn't sure that I was going to get out another video before my surgery, but I guess I am. And I've been breaking out really bad on my nose and forehead. I don't know what that's all about. It just seems like it's getting worse. I don't know if that has to do with kidneys having problem filtering my blood or whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe it's not related, but it's very irritating. Um, I wanted to talk about something in this video that runs across my mind a lot, and it's something I'm very fascinated in. And I like having these talks because I like putting out there my thoughts to see if other people can relate and what they think and get their theories on things, because I've had some things happen where it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I've tried to figure it out, and I'm never able to figure it out. And I just wonder, where does it come from? Because I'm not really in the camp of believing that everything in life is just random and chaotic, and that there's no meaning to anything, and that everything just happens because it happens, and it just is the way that it is. And I don't really buy into that theory. I think that things are more intelligently controlled through some source we can't see or explain. The things that I've had happen in my life bring me back to this thinking, because when I try to make sense of things, it's just like, when things go a certain way, it's like I then see later down the road why it went the way that it did, even though it necessarily wasn't all just my doing. Because you could say, well, there's free will and that an idea came in your head and you acted upon that idea, but how do you know that idea was really yours? How do you know that idea wasn't put in your head by something else? I mean, how can we really prove that an idea is truly our own? There's no way to prove that. So it makes me wonder, because I've had some bizarre things happen in my life. And have you ever knew that something was true without understanding how you knew it was true, but you just knew that it was true, and then later you found out that that was exactly the case? I'm going to give you an example. When I first started urinating blood and I knew something was wrong, and I went to go see my local urologist group we have down near the hospital, where there's a whole bunch of urologists who work down there. And I went to the closest place to go get some help to find out what was going on. And that's when they discovered I had kidney cancer. Well, this particular urologist that I was dealing with, who was Asian, and he was very, very cocky. And he just acted like he knew everything and everything was going to go the way that he said it was going to go. And I just knew that that wasn't the case. I don't know how I knew it, but I just knew it. And I knew it as fact. And this is the kind of stuff I can't explain, because I'm not a urologist and I don't know anything about the medicine of urology, how the system works and all this stuff and all the things that go along with it. But when he told me he was going to give me a stent, I said, no, you're not. You're not going to give me a stent. He says, well, this is how it has to be done. I have to give you a stent if you have this procedure done, meaning to biopsy my kidney and then later go in for a radical nephrectomy. I said, no, you're not going to give me a stent. I said, if you want to go that route, I'm going to go somewhere else, meaning Roswell. And he got upset and he said, well, you go anywhere else and deal with any other urologist, whether they deal with cancer or not. He said, this is what they're going to do if they do a biopsy of your kidney. And I says, no, they won't. They will not do that. And I says, and I'm going to go somewhere else so they won't do it, because this is what I don't want. Lo and behold, when I went to Roswell and got a cancer specialist urologist that deals with removing kidneys that are, with cancer, he said, no, I'm not going to give you a stent. He says, I'll take a biopsy, but we don't have to put a stent in your ureter. We can do it without it. And I'm like, wow, this proves to me that I knew something before I knew it. I did not do my research. I did not find out that if Roswell uses stents or not on that same procedure that this urologist wanted to do. All I know is that in that time, in that office, I was having an argument with this man that was cocky and arrogant, and I didn't like his attitude. And I knew right then and there he was not going to be my treating physician. And I says, no, they won't. I'll go somewhere else where they won't use one. And I turned out to be right. This is the kind of knowledge that I get beforehand, to where I don't know where this knowledge comes from, to where I just know what I'm saying to somebody is true. And then I later find out that, in fact, it was true, that not all urologists go by the same playbook and do the same thing, because he told me, he says, you go anywhere else, you're going to have the same thing done. He says, no one's going to touch you and unless you let them use a stent on you. And I said, that's not true. I'm going to go somewhere else and I'm going to get someone else. And I did. And I didn't get a stent. So this is what I'm trying to convey in this video, is that there are things that have happened in my life to where there have been a chain of events that have happened to where it's almost like it was dictated by something. Like it was out of my own personal control, that it really wasn't me that was in charge. Like I'm not the captain of my own life like everyone thinks that it is in this life. And for me personally, that's how it's been in my life, that things just work out in a way to where it's like, I know better, but I don't know how I know better, but I just do. Maybe that's your gut, that's your intuition, whatever you want to call it. But even then, where does that come from? It's like it's something that's given to you from an outside source, and then you act upon it. So it's like something is guiding you and telling you, just like when you have a thought or you act upon that thought, like I said before, is that thought really your own, or was that put into your head because it's being put into your head by a higher intelligence that knows better than you do? But I've had some things, you guys, happen in life to where I've never been able to explain it, and it's been the craziest thing. And there's a particular story, like in my life, I've had like out of the top 5 things that have happened in my life, there's one particular story that stands out that maybe I'll do a video about and tell you guys about it. I've mentioned it before, long time ago on one of my channels. A long time ago, I told this story. So some of you that have been with me long enough have heard it before, but to this day, I still can't understand it, and I have no idea how it happened the way that it did. But it's showing me that life isn't just random, and that we are the authors of our destiny, that there are things that intervene, that there are things that happen that are outside of our control, that tell me that not everything is our own will, not everything is our own decisions, not everything is what we can control. There's a lot of things we can't control, and there's a lot of things that have outcomes that we never thought possible. And I just find it strange that this world and life and infinity and beyond and other life forms that are out there, that it just keeps going and going and going, and it's an endless cycle that it's impossible to have any type of understanding. It's like God said in the Bible that even heaven is beyond all understanding, that our minds cannot comprehend what that place is like. We cannot grasp what that place is like. And the fact that we go on forever, for all infinity, that we just keep going on, blows my mind. I can't imagine being alive as energy and having experiences forever and ever and ever. That sounds very tiresome, but yet that's exactly the case. And that there too has been proven to me through having my heart stopped and then re-jumped and seeing that there is life after death. But the thing that I find weird is how you can have these interactions and they're just a glimpse in life, just something that can take seconds. Like if you're hiking through the woods on a trail and you encounter another human being coming the other way and you say hello to that person and they say hello to you, and maybe you smile at them and you get a good look at them, and then you pass one another and you never see that person ever again. Just like travelers passing by in an airport, you watch all these people coming and going and you wonder what kind of lives they have, and you see those people for just a few seconds in your lifetime, in your entire lifespan, and you never will see those people ever again so long as you live. Maybe in another lifetime you'll run across those people, and that's what will give you the deja vu that you experience in this lifetime, because it was somebody or something that you had a run in from a past life. I believe those things are possible. I absolutely believe those things are possible, because there again, like I said in a past video, that the reason why I believe that reincarnation is possible, because tell me anything in this life, in this world, that does not repeat on a daily basis. Everything repeats, from the sun going up to the sun setting, to you getting up and getting dressed and then getting undressed and going back to bed and punching into work every day. Everything has a repetitive cycle where it's over and over and over again. Well, if everything around us is repetitive and happens again and again and again, why wouldn't our lives be the same way? It just takes a lifetime to experience the next chance you get because it takes that long for it to end, whereas a day only takes 24 hours. A shift only takes 8 hours. A tree lives for 200 years and then it dies, but it gives off offspring, and then it sends up life again, where things recycle and relive and experience. And I believe in that sort of thing. But I'm fascinated with the idea that not all things are in our control. And boy, I'll tell you what, you guys, many times throughout the decades of my life, I have seen to where there's things that have happened to me to where it absolutely blew my mind. Jaw-dropping events to where it's like, I have no idea how that happened. I have no idea how that worked out the way it did. I have no idea how this came to be. It had to be something from outside of my own doing. It had to be, because there's no other way to explain it, because it should have never happened otherwise. And I find this kind of stuff fascinating, because it's something there again that continues to happen periodically through life over and over and over again. There again with that recycling system. And it just fascinates me to no end. But I'll tell you guys a story in another video, that one that's in the top 5 things that have happened to me that have really made me wonder. And it's almost like something pays attention to your life, all of our lives. Like something is paying attention to all of us, and our lives are being monitored, and there's things that intervene, and there's things that will cause something to happen for a greater good, for a greater reason, that otherwise it would have never happened had they stayed out of the equation and just let us go about our business. There again, in that theory that everything is just random and chaotic, which again, I'm not in that camp. I do not believe in that. But there's been some crazy things that just made me wonder, and getting down to knowing something to where I just knew I knew what I knew without knowing how I knew it, and then later putting it to the test and finding out that it was indeed true what I said. And it's just that kind of thing fascinates me. But I was wondering, what do you guys believe? Do you guys believe that we are the captains of our own life, or are there things out there that do intervene, and that there's certain things that will cross in our paths that will change the course of where we're going in our life, that will make something, an alternative reality happen versus where it would have taken us had it not happened at all? And I'm just wondering, what do you guys think about that? Because I do believe that there's things that intervene for a greater reason, because had it not, maybe things wouldn't turn out otherwise as good as it would have. I'm a firm believer in that kind of thing. I do not believe in just random free will chaos, and that things just happen for whatever reason without it ever making any sense. I don't believe in that. And I believe that there is some type of very high intelligent control to make sure that we are staying on the destined path that we are meant to be on. Because who knows, maybe we sat down with some intelligence and pre-planned our life and agreed to the things that we want to experience in life. And sometimes when we waver, we have to get put back on track. I sometimes wonder if that isn't exactly what's happening. But nonetheless, it's fascinating to me, and it's things that I like to talk about and think about and ponder. It's just bizarre. But that kind of stuff really fascinates me. So what do you guys think? Have you had similar things like that happen in your life? And let me know if you want to hear the story I'd like to tell you, because I had one night a couple strangers showed up, and it changed the course of my life, and I had no idea where the hell they came from. And they showed up late at night during a snowstorm, and I never saw them again for the rest of my life, but they did have an effect that drastically changed the course that I was on. So anyway, with that said, I'll let you guys go. Let me know what you guys think and believe down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.